Good morning, students. Let us continue with the next topic, tools of recombinant DNA technology. Now we know from the foregoing discussion that genetic engineering or recombinant DNA technology can be accomplished only if we have the key tools, that is restriction enzymes, polymerase enzymes, ligases, vectors, and host organism. Let us try to understand some of these in detail. Restriction enzymes. In the year 1963, the two enzymes responsible for restricting the growth of bacteriophage in E. coli were isolated. One of these added methyl group to DNA, while the other cut DNA. The latter was restriction endonuclease. The first restriction endonuclease, HIND2, whose functioning depended on a specific DNA nucleotide sequence, was isolated and characterized 5 years later. It was found that HIND2 always cut DNA molecules at a particular point by recognizing a specific sequence of 6 base pairs. This specific base sequence is known as recognition sequence for HIN2. Besides HIN2, today we know more than 900 restriction enzymes that have been isolated from over 230 strains of bacteria, each of which recognize different recognition sequences. The convention for naming these enzymes is the first letter of the names comes from the genus and the second two letters come from the species of the prokaryotic cell from which they were isolated. Example, EcoRI, that is, it comes from Escherichia coli RY13 strain. In EcoRI, the letter R is derived from the name of strain, and the Roman numbers following the name indicate the order in which the enzymes were isolated from the strain of the bacteria. Restriction enzymes belong to a larger class of enzymes called nucleases. These are of two kinds, exonuclease and endonuclease. Exonuclease remove nucleotides from the end of the DNA, whereas endonucleases makes cut at a specific position within the DNA. Each restriction endonuclease functions by inspecting the length of the DNA sequence. Once it finds its specific recognition sequence, it will bind to the DNA and cut each of the two strands of the double helix at specific point in their sugar phosphate backbone. Each restriction endonuclease recognizes a specific palindromic nucleotidic sequence in the DNA. Here is the action of restriction endonuclease. There are two kinds of enzymes. They produce two kinds of ends. First is they produce blunt ends. Second is they produce sticky ends. When the ends are produced in a way that they have some flanking sequences, then it is very easy to combine the two DNA molecules according to the complementary bases. Do you know what are palindromes? These are the groups of letters that form the same words when read both forward and backward. Example, Malayalam. If we read it forward, Malayam, and if we read it backward, again Malayam, the same word is formed, as against a word palindrome where the same word is read in both directions. The palindrome in DNA is a sequence of base pairs that read same on the two strands when orientation of reading is kept the same. For example, the following sequences reads the same on the two strands in 5 prime to 3 prime direction. This is also true if we read it in 3 prime to 5 prime direction. Example is given GAATTC. Again 5 prime to 3 prime in the next one is GAATTC. So if we keep the direction same and then they are read, they becomes the same word or same sequence. Restriction enzymes cut the strand of the DNA little away from the center of the palindrome site, but between the same two bases on the opposite strands. This leaves single-stranded portions at the ends. These are overhanging stretches called sticky ends on each strand. These are named so because they form hydrogen bonds with their complementary counterparts. This stickiness of the ends facilitates the action of enzyme DNA ligase. Restriction endonucleases are used in genetic engineering to form recombinant molecules of DNA, which are composed of DNA from different sources or genomes. When cut by the same restriction enzyme, the resultant DNA fragments have the same kind of sticky ends, and these can be joined together end to end using DNA ligases. So after the use of restriction endonuclease, when we want to join two different DNA segments or stretches, we have to use another enzyme called DNA ligases that joins the sticky ends of the two DNA end to end. Here is the diagrammatic representation how the recombinant DNA technology occur. Foreign DNA is cut with the enzyme, same vector DNA is cut with the same enzyme. So same ends are produced. That small in between portion is now ligated with the bigger vector DNA. After that, this recombinant molecule is allowed to get into the bacterial cells with the electric shock. We may have realized that normally, unless one cuts the vector and the source DNA with the same restriction enzyme, the recombinant vector molecule cannot be created. Separation and isolation of DNA fragments. The cutting of the DNA by restriction endonuclease results in the fragments of the DNA. These fragments can be separated by a technique known as gel electrophoresis that we have used in DNA fingerprinting also. Since DNA fragments are negatively charged molecules, they can be separated by forcing them to move towards the anode under an electric field through a medium or matrix. Nowadays, most commonly used matrix is agarose, which is natural polymer extracted from the sea weeds. The DNA fragments separate according to their size through sieving effect provided by the agarose gel. Hence, the smaller fragment size, the farther it moves. We can look this kind of separation in the given figure. Here is a typical agarose gel electrophoresis showing the migration of undigested and digested set of DNA fragments. One is undigested, that whole bulks towards the well, while 2, 3 and 4 are digested segments of the DNA. We can see the smallest segment farther from the well and largest segments near the wells. Well is the location where the samples are loaded. Separated DNA fragments can be visualized only after staining the DNA with a compound known as ethidium bromide, followed by the exposure to UV radiations. We cannot see pure DNA fragments in the visible light without staining. So, if we can see a bright orange color band of DNA in the ethidium bromide stained gel exposed to UV light, then it shows the segments of the DNA. The separated bands of DNA are cut out from the agarose gel and extracted from the gel piece. This step is known as elution. Elute out करना, remove out करना, बाहर निकाल लेना. The DNA fragments purified in this way are used in constructing recombinant DNA by joining them with the different cloning vectors.